What's going on, everyone? I am just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about why everyone wants to travel to Norway. So, don't get me wrong. I understand that Norway is a really, really cool place, and that, a lot of people say that they want to travel there at some point in their life. But now they're saying that more people now, more than ever before, are choosing Norway as their entire vacation. Like it's on a whole other level now. So today I really want to learn about what it is exactly about Norway right now that so many people love, are so excited about. So let's take a look.
More people than ever before seem to be choosing to visit Norway right now. And that's no coincidence. Something bigger is definitely going on. Now, it's not
Really?
just about the fjords or the northern lights, although
Yeah, exactly. Like Norway has a bunch of amazing stuff. Northern lights, fjords, like you said, like nature, beautiful country, amazing. Plus, like all the cities and towns and like sometimes good weather, sometimes a year. But that's not like a secret, right? That's not something that just happened, you know? So what is it like now all of a sudden that people love Norway?
that is part of the story. It's more about a big shift in how people want to travel around the world, and right now, Norway happens to fit that shift almost perfectly.
Really?
Hello, I'm David, and I've lived in Norway for 15 years now. In these videos,
Hmm.
I help people from all around the world understand Norway better, and I help some plan their dream trips to Norway through my travel consulting calls. I've
Okay.
traveled Norway extensively during my work as a travel writer and cruise ship speaker.
Okay.
Recently in these calls, I've noticed some clear trends of things people are asking about.
Oh, interesting. So this guy knows a lot about Norway. He lives in Norway currently, and he helps people travel to Norway. Like he helps plan trips and stuff. So he knows all about this stuff. So maybe he understands like why this is such a trend, why Norway, because I'm sure Norway has always been quite popular for people to visit. Like I would love to visit Norway sometime. Like it sounds amazing. Um, but why is that trend going up? Like all of a sudden? That's the question.
Not just once or twice, but all the time. So in this video, I want to explain to you why Norway is so popular right now and why I think that trend is set to continue. Let's
Okay.
start with the numbers, but don't worry, I'll be brief. Tourism in Norway has been growing steadily with record numbers of visitors in recent years.
I mean, it's record no record numbers of visitors to Norway. That's got to be great for Norway's economy. But I can't help but wonder, is it like, does it ever get to be too much? Like if you're Norwegian, is it like annoying being the number one destination where so many people are going, like millions of people or whatever? Does that ever get annoying? I can't help but wonder. Maybe if it's a American tourist. In the US, like tourism to the US is going down. So it's like the opposite situation. We're begging people to come here. It's going up for Norway.
There's a few different ways we know this. Accommodation providers reported more than 40 million guest nights last year, which is an all-time high. Also, most of that growth is coming from international visitors.
40 million like hotels and bookings like for the whole year, I guess. Wow.
Let's then consider cruise travel. Last year, a record number of cruise ship passenger visits were also recorded.
That's right. Cruises. That's a big thing in like there's the Norwegian cruise line. Cruises. People do yes, I forgot about that.
At 6.3 million individual port visits at an average of 4 different ports per
Okay.
itinerary. So, yes, in simple terms, more people from around the world are choosing Norway. The numbers show it. What's
Okay.
interesting is why. Because this
Yes.
doesn't seem to be just a typical tourism boom, there's some clear trends behind it. And one of those
Okay.
biggest trends is due to the world's changing climate. If you look at what's been happening across southern Europe in recent years, the record breaking heat waves, the wildfires, the cities becoming uncomfortably hot in July.
That's happening right now. Literally, right? It's like record heat in Europe. And it's very hot in the US right now. It's like too hot. So Norway has a good climate because you guys are a little further north, so it's a little cooler. Oh, that makes sense.
And August.
It's just usually I hear about Norway like being too cold. Like it's got you have crazy winters and weather and but now it's actually kind of a good thing.
Well, for a lot of travelers, that classic summer holiday isn't quite as appealing as it used to be. And that's where this idea of a coolcation comes in. Now, I have to admit, when I first heard the term, I thought it was a buzzword. But once again, the numbers seem to show it's real. Instead of
Huh.
chasing heat, people are starting to ask a different question. Where can I go in summer and actually feel comfortable?
So Norway, after being known for being like cold, now you're known for being the perfect temperature, especially in the summer. It's funny how that works, how that changes.
And Norway is well positioned for that. Summer here is typically warm, but rarely overwhelming. You're not talking 35 or 40 degrees. You can actually be outside in the middle of the day and enjoy it. Now, of
Wow.
course, Norway can get hot. We do see temperatures pushing up towards or even just beyond 30 degrees. Even in the north, yes, really.
30 degrees. What is 30 degrees? I don't know. I don't understand Celsius. Real quick, 30 Celsius to Fahrenheit is 86. That's pretty hot. Okay, it's not like 100, but it's hot.
I've experienced it myself, but that's still not the norm. Most of the time, summer here sits in that comfortable range where you can be active, be outside, and not feel like you constantly need to escape the heat.
Yeah, like in a lot of parts of the United States right now, it's like almost too hot to go outside. It's like it's beautiful out, the sun is out, but it's almost like too hot. It's annoying because you want to go enjoy the sun. Um, wow, I didn't know that. Norway, because I've always thought of Norway as being like, Nordic, cold, like dark. But now it's like that's what everybody wants.
And then there's the light. Long summer days, especially in the north, can completely transform how you experience a trip.
Oh, in the summer, the days are longer? See, I don't know all that stuff. I just know the darkness and the light changes throughout the year, especially if you're north. So at this time of year in the summer, it's like more sun. Norway really is the perfect summer destination. Now I understand.
You don't need to rush to fit everything in between sunrise and sunset, because there isn't one. You've got time. You can go for a hike in the evening,
Yeah,
travel at a slower pace, whatever suits you. So, this
that's
isn't
cool.
just about escaping the heat, it's about choosing a different kind of concept for your vacation. Then there's winter. Now, the Northern Lights have always been a big draw in northern Norway, but
Sure,
something
sure.
has really changed in the last couple of years. Partly that's down to social media. More people have seen just how incredible the aurora can look. But there's also a
Mm.
scientific reason.
I feel like social media, like YouTube videos and stuff, is probably a reason why Norway is getting more popular as time goes on. because people can go online and like see it. You could like see a video or something and learn about it, and yeah, that makes sense to me too for why the popularity is going up. People are more aware.
We're currently in a strong period of solar activity, which increases the chances of seeing the northern lights, and that's been getting a lot of media attention.
Oh
As a
yeah,
result, places like Tromsø have become global hotspots for winter travel. But it's
cool.
not just independent travelers flying north. Northern Lights cruises have also become hugely popular, giving people the
I didn't know that that was a thing. A Northern Lights cruise. That sounds pretty cool, actually.
chance to chase the aurora along the Norwegian coast while combining it with fjords, small towns, Arctic landscapes, and winter experiences.
That's
And
pretty
what's
cool.
really interesting here is the knock on effect. The Northern Lights have changed how people think of Norway as a tourist destination, full stop. For a long time, Norway was seen mainly as a summer destination. Now, the
Hmm.
darker months of autumn and winter are just as important.
I was just about to say, it's not just summer. People, this isn't just Americans either, it sounds like. People all over the world are realizing Norway, like, for different reasons, is awesome to travel to at different times a year. Even if the winter in Norway is pretty intense, though, right? Like, that's still a thing, but it's beautiful.
And that leads on to another big change. People are no longer just traveling in the peak season of summer. Spring and autumn are becoming much more popular, and in many ways, they're
Okay.
actually the best times to visit Norway these days. You still get
Oh,
incredible scenery, whether that's waterfalls in spring or the colours in autumn, but
yeah.
without the same level of crowds you might see in July and
Sure,
August.
sure, sure.
Prices are often lower, availability is better, and the whole experience just feels a bit more relaxed. And this
Cool.
isn't just anecdotal. Tourism across Norway is becoming less seasonal.
What do Norwegians think about all this? Like, this is your country. Um, on one hand, it's probably really cool that people are coming and appreciating it, and but I still think like, especially since Norway is kind of a smaller country, small population, like you can have too many tourists, I bet. Like, does it ever get annoying?
And more visitors are choosing those shoulder months on purpose. Personally, I think this is one of the biggest changes happening in Norway tourism right now. Another major global travel trend that's definitely impacting Norway is how people travel. There's a growing move away from checklist style, bucket list travel, if you
Huh.
will. You know,
Okay.
the kind of trip where you're constantly moving, trying to see as much as possible in a short amount of time.
That perfectly describes like most Americans because for us, Americans, we don't travel outside of the US very often, like maybe once in our life. Like, I've never been to Europe, I've never left the US. Most Americans want to go to Europe at some point and have like a list. You only get, and in the US, you don't get too much time off of work. Like, asking for 1 week is a huge deal that you probably won't even get that. So we try to squeeze in as much as possible, and it's in a way that would kind of ruin it. So it makes sense people are trying to get away from that. And Norway maybe is like good for not being in a rush, like just relaxing a bit.
Instead, it seems like people want to slow down. They want fewer destinations, longer stays, and more time to actually experience a place properly, and Norway is ideal for that. I
Sounds
often
good.
encourage people in my consulting calls not to take a long road trip itinerary with 4 different stops in 4 different days,
I
but to
see.
base themselves in one place, give themselves a chance to breathe.
That's good advice for Americans, actually. Because whenever an American plans a Europe trip, like the one time in their life, they're going to go to like 10 different countries in 10 days. And certainly Norway is such a good example of how you couldn't possibly experience Norway in a positive way in 1 day. trying to see everything.
That way, you can spend time hiking along the fjord, take a scenic train journey, or just be outdoors. This is a place that rewards taking your time. It is
Yeah,
not a destination you rush through, and I think more and more travelers are starting to realize that.
I like
Now,
that.
while a lot of people come to Norway for the scenery, they leave talking about something else, the lifestyle. Now, I know
Oh,
this from speaking to hundreds of people visiting Norway for the first time after my cruise ship talks. The concept of friluftsliv, the idea of getting outdoors, whatever the weather, really resonates with visitors.
oh, that's cool. So, for a lot of tourists, experiencing the Norwegian way of life like leaves a big impact. That's not really something you expect from a vacation. Like you go on vacation to have fun, relax, drink, let loose. When you go to Norway, you bring something home with you, like a new mentality or something.
Because it's not just something people talk about here, it's absolutely part of everyday life. And when you visit Norway, you see that, you experience that, and you understand that. There's also a strong sense of balance with work time and leisure time. Everything feels a little more integrated. And you see that
Okay.
especially in places like Oslo, where you've got culture, food, design, and other big city attractions, but also forests, islands, and hiking trails.
Sure, yeah, we could definitely learn a lot from Norwegian culture. Like in the US, we don't prioritize getting outside and not at all. But I could absolutely understand why that is good for your health and your mental health, right? Huh. Yeah, cuz to be honest, in the US, people don't talk about Norway that much, but it sounds like overall, and this isn't just Americans, like overall the trend is around the world people are like really realizing Norway is an amazing place to go to. Even if it's for the weather or the experience or the culture, all that stuff.
Right on the doorstep. For a lot of visitors, that combination is incredibly appealing, and we're starting to see more and more articles and videos talking about these things, attracting a different kind of traveller to Norway. For
Sure.
them, it's not just about what you see in Norway, it's about how it feels to be here.
Yeah.
Another big factor in the tourism growth is, well, it's easier to travel to Norway, certainly to fly to Norway, than it's been for a very long time. There are
Oh,
far more international flights, better connections, and much more awareness of what Norway actually offers as a destination.
how are there more flights? How are there more airplanes all of a sudden? Just more because Norway is more popular, they're offering more flights, maybe? And we kind of talked about already how information about Norway, it's not like a secret anymore. It's like it's on the internet and people are talking about it.
And you can see that in the routes that are being added. Airlines are increasingly flying directly into places like Bergen and Tromsø, not just the main hub in Oslo. And that makes a huge difference. Instead of needing multiple connections, people can get
Uh,
closer to where they actually want to be, whether that's the fjord region or the Arctic.
I
Now, one
see.
thing doesn't change. There's always one big question I get asked time and time again. Isn't Norway expensive? And well,
Yeah,
yes, it can be.
I've heard this. I've heard Norway is very expensive.
But having lived here for 15 years now, I think the gap is not as big as it used to be, thanks in part to shifting exchange rates. But also,
Oh.
prices have risen across Europe too. If you travel outside the peak summer season,
So that was a reason people maybe were turned off from Norway a little bit. It's a wealthy country, things are expensive. But even that has come down a little bit. So really, now I understand how this is like the perfect combination of stuff. Where like everything in Norway is so appealing. It's already a really appealing country, and now everything is even a little bit more welcoming, a little bit better for tourists. So now this makes a ton of sense.
Norway can be more accessible and affordable than you might expect, just not cheap. So, why is Norway so popular right now? Well, it's not just one thing. It's the combination of cooler summers, incredible winter experiences, changing travel habits, and a growing desire for something more meaningful.
Exactly. So there are some things that have changed. The climate, the weather, what people are looking for, people's ability to research Norway and figure out that it's cool. I can relate to that. So now, because this makes so much more sense, because I was thinking Norway has been around for a very long time. Why are people just now like traveling there in record numbers? And it makes sense. It's because of all this amazing stuff, all this stuff that attracts people, and a couple things that have changed, honestly. So that's really interesting because Norway is already pretty popular. Now it's really popular. And I said, like, I'm curious, like, how many tourists are there? Is it annoying to Norwegians? I don't know, but it's probably like cool at the same time. So this was cool to learn about. This makes a lot of sense. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment, especially if you're Norwegian, hearing what you think about all this, like tourists to your country and what, like, that'd be a cool perspective to hear from. And if you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.